Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tuwassir wa tammim bil khair. Question number 3. Kayfa uddiyat? And as we know that uddiyat is the singular form of the feminine singular form. So adda, addu, addat. But this one is uddiyat. So can you figure out, is it like active form or passive form? If we have dhamma in the beginning and after that the second last root letter has kasra, that means this is passive on the pattern of fu'ila, ju'ila. So all of them, they are called passive. Which form is this? Is this form number 1 or 2 or 4? I think you can see it over here. So this is form number 2. How do we know it's form number 2? That form number 2 has the second root letter is muda'af, yani it is doubled. So dal is basically double and it has been merged into tashdid. So kayfa uddiyatil af'alu? As we know that af'al is the broken plural of fail, so that's why it is used as singular feminine. That's why the verb that we have used here is singular feminine. كيف عديت الأفعال المطبوعة مطبوعة. What form is this? Can you figure out? Active or passive? Passive, yeah. So it is basically matbu'un on the pattern of maf'ulun, and this is thulathi mujarrad, and the verb that has taba'a yatba'u, 3 root letters, tabi'un and then matbu'un. So here it means the printed. Al-af'alu al-matbu'atu, the verbs that are printed, bil ahmari, in red, fil amthilatil atiyati, in the following examples. So by what process have the verbs printed in red in the following sentences been rendered transitive? So adda yu'addi, as we can see over here, adda yu'addi ta'diyatan, to make a verb transitive. So basically, if you remember, I told you in the beginning that it means to infect. Like when someone is infected by a disease, right? Like infected by corona or any other disease. But in the context of the grammar, it is called to change a verb into transitive verb. So it says adda yu'addi ta'diyatan, to make transitive. And when we talk about the passive will be uddiya yu'adda ta'diyatan. So adda yu'addi ta'diyatan is the active form, and uddiya yu'adda ta'diyatan is the passive form. So that's why we have over here uddiyat, how the verbs, or by what process have the verbs printed in the red been rendered transitive. And as we can see over here, da'afa yuda'ifu tad'ifan, to double. So that's why the verb that has 2 root letters that are the same, what do we call them? We call them muda'af. So muda'af, the ones that have been made doubled. All right, so now you have to tell me like how the verb has been made transitive. There are 2 ways to figure out. Number 1, whether it has been made transitive by changing it into ta'diyah. So we will say uddiya bil hamza, as we can see that when we use hamza in the beginning of the verb from number 4, then a verb that is intransitive, it changes into transitive. Or the second way is that we change into tad'if, yani we make it double. The second root letter becomes double. Man abkat tifla ya aminatu. Who made the child cry, O Amina? Ma abkahu ahadun. No one made him cry. Innama yabki min al-ju'i. Innama, as we know that it means indeed, and ma is called ma al-kaffa, which stops the impact of inna, and it can be used with the noun and it can be used with the verb. In this case, it is used with the verb. Innama yabki min al-ju'i. Indeed, he is crying from the hunger. All right, so abka, how did we make it transitive? Uddiya bil hamzati. it has been made transitive by Hamza. So it was basically baka yabki, that means to cry. But when we change it into abka yubki, that means to make someone cry. So someone is asking Amina, like, man abka atifla ya Aminatu? Who made the child cry? And she says, ma abkahu ahadun. No one has made him cry. Okay, now here it is alif and here it is alif maqsura. So why this alif maqsura has changed into regular alif? Yes, please. Does anyone remember? You need to figure out and you have to pay a very close attention to these small changes. Alif maqsura, yes. When exact now when we use it with the attached pronoun, which can be hu, huma, hum, ha, huma, hunna, ka, kuma, kum, ki, kuma, kunna, e, and na. So whenever we attach it to the attached pronoun, then the alif maqsura changes into regular alif. It changes into regular alif. So that's why it has changed into ma abkahu ahadun. No one made him cry. Innama yabki min al-ju'i. Indeed, he is crying from hunger. And we will say uddiya bil hamza. Yani it has been made transitive by hamza. قال الطالب الجديد للمدرس. The new student said to the teacher, Ya ustadu, ajlisni, make me sit قريبا من السبورة, close to the board. فإن نظري ضعيف. Indeed, my eyesight is weak. Yes, ajlisni. How has it been made transitive? By hamza or by tad'if? Jalasa yajlisu means he sat. Ajlasa yujlisu means to make someone sit. Ajlis, make someone sit. And in this case, the student says ajlisni. So ya al mutakallim is used for me, and we know that whenever we have ya al mutakallim with the noun, with the verb, whenever we use ya al mutakallim with the verb, then additional noon has to be added, as we can see over here. Ajlisni, make me sit. Qariban min as-saburati, close to the board. Okay, so what change has taken over here? Is this uddiya bil hamza or tad'if?
Hamza, yes, sir.
Excellent. So we will say uddiya bil hamza. Yani it is made transitive by hamza. And we can clearly see over here, the hamza is over here. So we call it hamza to ta'diyah. Why is it called hamza to ta'diyah? Because it changes an intransitive verb into transitive verb. As we can see here, it changes a verb that is intransitive into transitive. Yani it changes a verb that is lazim into muta'addi. Okay, nazaltu min as-sayyarati. I came down from the car. ثم نزلت أمي المريضة. Then I brought my sick mother down from the car. Okay, نزلت. كيف عدي؟ عدي بالتضعيف, right? Doubled. It has been made doubled. Nazala means to come down, and nazzala to bring someone down. Alright, so it is, what do we say? We will say uddiya bi tadaif. Yani it is made doubled or it is made transitive by doubling it. The second root letter becomes double. Why is al maridata mansub? Because here if you see, nazzaltu is fail plus file and maf'ul bihi is umma. Umma is maf'ul bihi, right? We know that whenever we use ya al mutakallim, then we have to use the kasra that is compatible with ya al mutakallim. Which haraka or which vowel sign is compatible with ya al mutakallim? Kasra is compatible with ya al mutakallim, so that's why it has changed into ummi. So basically as we can see here, it is mansub, and we have used the adjective for and it is also mansub, so that's why it is mansub. Now did you get the idea? So we have to look at mudaf. If mudaf is mansub, then the sifa will be mansub. If mudaf is majroor, then the sifa will be majroor. And if mudaf is marfu', then the sifa will be marfu'. So did you get the idea? ثم نزلت أمي المريضة. Then I brought my sick mother down from the car. So what do we call this? عُدِّيَ بِالتَّضْعِيفِ, yani it is made transitive by doubling it. So we made it double. يا أحمد لا تضحكني وأنا أقرأ الدرس. Oh Ahmad, don't make me laugh when I am or while I am reading my lesson. Yes, تضحكني. أضحك يضحك إضحاكا. That means to make someone laugh. ضحك يضحك means he laughed. But أضحك يضحك means to make someone laugh. So what do we say? أدي بالهمزة. قال لي الطبيب, the doctor said to me, أخرج لسانك, take your tongue out. Yes. كيف عدي؟ عدي
بالهمزة.
بالهمزة. Excellent. So we will say it is made transitive by hamza. Perfect. قال تعالى والله أخرجكم من بطون أمهاتكم لا تعلمون شيئا. Subhanallah, such a beautiful verse of the Quran. Allah brought you out from your mother's wombs not knowing anything. So when we come out from the wombs of our mothers, we are ignorant. And then we learn few things and we say, I am very literate, I know everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that you do not know anything. If you get any knowledge, that is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, أخرجكم. Yes, please. عدي
بالهمزة.
Hamza. Excellent. So as we can see here, it's a very simple verse of the Quran. Wallahu, this is wa al-istinafiya, which is used to start a sentence. So what if it is wallahi? What is the difference if we put kasra over here? This is min dun al-Quran, other than the Quran. If you say wallahi, what is the difference between wallahu and wallahi?
واو is the واو القسم يا أستاذ.
Excellent. So if we have kasra over there, that means this is waw al-qasam. So if you don't see kasra over here, that means this is not waw al-qasam. Perfect. So this is waw that is used to start a sentence. We call it waw al-istinafiyah, to start a sentence. So basically Allahu is basically fa'il. Ismul jalala is fa'il. And akhrajakum, fail plus fa'il again. Min batuni ummahatikum. Min is harf jar. Batuni is, as we know, that majroor. Plural of batanun, and ummahatikum is also mudaf mudaf ilayh. La ta'lamuna shay'an, in this state that you did not know anything. Alright, so we can see over here that this is also uddiya bil hamza. قال تعالى ومن يظلم منكم نذقه عذابا كبيرا. Okay, what kind of sentence is this? Man, can you see over here? Adatu shart. You know, this is adatu shart. What does it do? Tajzimu fi'laini. It gives jazm to two verbs. Okay, so two verbs. Can you see two verbs over here that have been made majzoom?
نذكره.
Yadlim is majzoom. It was yadlimu, but because of man, it has become yadlim. And nudhiqhu was basically nudhiquhu, and then that ya has been dropped. Perfect. So now we can see over here that man is adatu shart, so you don't forget what we have learned in the past. And adatu shart tajzimu fi'lain. So for this verb number 1 has been made majzoom, and here verb number 2 also it is majzoom. نذقه. Yes. عدي بالهمزة or عدي what do you say, تضعيف? Come on, try to figure out. Do you see tashdid over there? There is no tashdid. That means this is uddiya bil hamza. Very simple, right? If you don't see tashdid, that means it is uddiya bil hamza. And we can see over here, ذاق يذوق, مذاقا, that means to taste. And أذاق يذيق means to make someone taste. So yudhiqu, tudhiqu, tudhiqu, udhiqu, nudhiqu. So it was basically nudhiqu, but as you know that it is majzoom, and when the verb becomes majzoom, then the weak letter, first what we do, we make the ending sakin because of adadu shart, and now we have iltiqa sakinan, ya is sakin and qaf is sakin, and we know that the one that is weak letter will be dropped, so that's why it has become nudhiqhu adhaban kabira. Sorry. So whoever among you does wrong, we will make him taste a great punishment. So who will make him taste great punishment? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we have another verse of the Quran. قال الله تعالى لموسى عليه السلام, to Musa عليه السلام, وأدخل يدك في جيبك تخرج بيضاء من غير سوء. and put your hand into the opening of your garment or in your pocket, at pocket, it will come out white without disease. أدخل, yes please. عدي بالهمزة أو عدي بتضعيف.
Hamza ya Ustaz.
Hamza, is it active, passive, or command, or nahi?
Command ya.
Command, excellent. يدك في جيبك. تخرج بيضاء. Why تخرج is مجزوم? What happened here? I hope you remember. Come on. You can inshallah answer quickly. Why تخرج is مجزوم? Because this is جواب طلب. جواب طلب, please remember that whenever we have فعل الأمر or فعل النهي, this is called طلب, and after that جواب طلب will always be مجزوم. So this is basically جواب طلب. وأدخل يدك في جيبك. So this is basically طلب, يعني you enter فعل الأمر. So what is طلب? طلب is basically, it can be أمر, it can be نهي. So enter your hand into your pocket and تخرج بيضاء, it will come out white, من غير سوء, without any disease. So these are the small things that you need to remember. We have learned in one of the previous lessons. Number one, we learned about adawat shart, like we learned about kaifa, we learned about man, and we have learned about many adawat shart. And similarly, we have learned that whenever we have talab, then jawab talab will always be majzoom. So that's why takhruj is majzoom over here. These are very important things that you need to remember, because in Arabic, and especially in the Quran, you find so many examples of verb being majzoom. So the verb will be majzoom. There are many reasons. It can be majzoom because of lam. It can be majzoom because of lamma. It can be majzoom because of lam al amr, which is li. And also it can be majzoom when it is jawab talab, as we can see over here. And also it can be majzoom because of adawat shart. So these are the few things that you need to remember. بعد الطواف والسعي يحلق المعتمر رأسه. After tawaf and sa'i, حلق يحلق, shaves المعتمر, the person who performs umrah, the person or the pilgrimage shaves his head, رأسه. أو يقصر شعره, أو he shortens his hair. يقصر, yes. تضعيف أو همزة؟ تضعيف, perfect, excellent. So أدية, sorry, that one is أدية بالهمزة, and this one is أدية بالتضعيف. So this one أدخل is أدية بالهمزة, and this one is أدية بالتضعيف. Excellent. And then we have قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا ينكح المحرم. The person who is wearing ihram does not make nikah, or does not make his own nikah. ولا ينكح, and he does not arrange, or he does not conduct anyone else's nikah. ولا يخطب, and he does not ask anyone for marriage. Okay, ينكح عدي بالهمزة or عدي بتضعيف؟ Hamza, perfect. So this is also عدي بالهمزة. All right. Then we have قال تعالى وأنه هو أضحك وأبكى وأنه هو أمات وأحيا. And that it is he who makes one laugh and weep, and it is he who makes or causes death and gives life. أضحك أبكى أمات وأحيا. Yes, all of them, they are made transitive by Hamza. So what do we call them? عديت بالهمزة. Okay, please give me the ثلاثي مجرد form of أضحك. What is the root form of أضحك? ضحك يضحك. Okay. Okay, so what about بكي يبكى? Okay. Okay, بكي يبكى. Then we have أمات. مات يموت. Okay, مات يموت. Then we have أحيا. حيية. حيي, so it has ya twice. So we say حيي ya. حيي يحيى. It's on the pattern of سمع يسمع. حيي يحيى. Similarly, بكي يبكى. بكي يبكى, as we have over here. حيي يحيى, that means to give life. So to means to live, sorry. حيي يحيى حياة, that means to live. And أحيا means to give life, which is only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Excellent. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان. This is basically dua. It has been taken from Surah Al-Hujurat. There is a verse of the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I will make you to love iman, and I will make you to hate kufr and fusuq wa isyan. So Allahumma habib, so it is a dua as well. Oh Allah, make us love habib ilayna. So this is fi'l al-amr. Make us love iman. Wa karrih ilayna, and make us hate al-kufra. As we know, this is kufr. Wal fusuqa, as this and this is also like doing something bad or haram. Wal isyana, and disobedience. So such a beautiful dua. That's basically the verse of the Quran has been changed into dua. So oh Allah, make us love iman and make us hate kufr wal fusuq wal isyan. So dua is also al-dua huwa al-ibadah, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that dua itself is ibadah. So we have to make sure that we always make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guidance and the right path. So this one is uddiya bil hamza, and this one and this one, they are uddiya bil tad'if. All right. Uridu an uriyaha al mudira. Ara. So this is a very beautiful verb that is used a lot in the Quran, and we have discussed several times, starting from book number 2. We have discussed in book number 2, and also we have discussed in book number 3, and again we have the same verb. So ara af'ala min ra'a. So ra'a is the main verb. This is thalathi mujarrad, and from thalathi mujarrad, verb from number 4 is ara. Ra'a means to see, and ara means to show. It means to show. Asluhu ar'aya. So it's basically on the pattern of af'alu. Af'alu ar'ayu. So it's basically ar'ayu. Hudhifat minhu aynuhu, and aynul kalima has been made mahdhuf. So this one is aynul kalima. So the simple way to change it into we know that whenever we have ya is mutaharrik and there is hamza before this, then ya changes into alif maqsura. We have discussed this many times in book 2. So this one arayu has changed into ara after making the changes. So ara means to show. So mudari'uhu is to yuri, is yuri, that means to show. So the only thing that you need to remember is very simple. Ara yuri, that means to show. So this is from number 4, ara yuri. So the changes we have discussed in book number 2 in detail. So ara yuri means to show, and fi'l al-amr will be ari. Fi'l al-amr will be ari. So this is basically we say turi. It is turi, as we see, and we know that when we make it turi over here. So how do we make the changes over here? Do you remember how to make what happens when we make fi'l al-amr? We make the ending sakin. All right. Then
we have to delete alamat al-mudari.
Okay. And we know that it is turi, so the ending will be sakin. And we know that the hamza comes back. In this case, hamza comes back, so it becomes ari. What does it become? It becomes ari, as we can see over here. So ari hada ya. So ari basically means to show. So show me, it will be arini. Arini hada ya aliyu. Show me this. Show this to me, O Ali. And the plural will be aruni. Aruni hada ya ikhwanu. O brothers, show this to me. Arini for the singular feminine. Show this to me, O Maryam. And arinani, show this to me, ya akhawatu, O sisters. So ari, aru, ari, and arinani. So this is basically arina, and then we have to me. So we know that this noon has been added to that. Now we have based on this example, we have some more examples. Taqulu, you say, arana al-mudarrisu kitaba nahwin jadidan. Kitaba nahwin jadidan. The teacher showed us the new book of Nahv. So kitaba is masuf and jadidan is sifa. And kitaba jadidan, so that's why it is mansub, because of kitaba. So al-mudarrisu is the fa'il, and kitaba is maf'ul bihi. So the teacher showed us the new book of Nahv. غدا, tomorrow, سأخذكم إلى المكتبة العامة. I will take you to the general library. وأريكم المعاجم كلها, and I will show you all the dictionaries. أريكم, I will show you. كلها, كلها, do you remember why is it used? How it is used? It is used for emphasis. It is used for emphasis. We have discussed tawqid. So there are two types of tawqid. One is tawqid al-lafzi and one is tawqid al-ma'nawi. So this is tawqid al-ma'nawi. This is basically gives the meaning of all of them. So we use the word like kullun, ajma'u, and there are many other words that we use for that purpose. So it is basically, it carries the same i'rab of the noun that it is used for. So ma'ajima is mansub, and that's why kulla is also mansub. If ma'ajima is marfu, then it will be marfu, and if it is majroor, then it will also be majroor. Please remember this. Arini jawaza safarika ya Ahmadu. Show me your passport, O Ahmad. So we can see over here, Arini, show me. Now, وفي التنزيل, and in the Quran we have, mashallah, so many examples. وَلَقَدْ أَرَيْنَاهُ آيَاتِنَا كُلَّهَا فَكَذَّبَ وَأَبَى. We showed Fir'aun, all our signs, but he rejected them and refused to believe. أَرَيْنَاهُ, أَرَيْنَا. Which verb is this? Present or past? Very simple question. Past, yeah. Past starts with Hamza. Past starts with Hamza, and present starts with Dhamma. So it's very simple to say. Araynahu, we showed him. Ayatina kullaha. Ayatina, please remember here, ayati, here it is mansub. Why it is mansub? Ayatun, ayatin, ayatin. So marfu will be with dhamma, and mansub and majroor will be kasra. So ayati is mansub, that's why kulla is also mansub, as we discussed briefly. هو الذي يريكم آياته, it is he who shows you his signs. وينزل لكم من السماء رزقا, and he sends down for you provision from the sky. Yurikum, shows you. Ara yuri. So this is the present tense. Huwa alladhi yurikum ayatihi wa yunazzilu, and he sends down. So this is also from number 2. Nazzala yunazzilu minas samai rizqa, the rizq from the provision from the heavens. So where does the rizq come from? It comes from the heavens. It does not come from makhluk. It comes from khaliq. Makhluk, the creatures, they cannot provide us with rizq. Well, i'adha billah. The rizq comes from the heavens. That means it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ أَرِنِي كَيْفَ تُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى. And remember and mention when Ibrahim alayhi salam said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Arini, show me, كَيْفَ تُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى, how do you give life to death? قَالَ أَوَلَمْ تُؤْمِنْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, don't you believe me? قَالَ بَلَى. He said, why not? وَلَكِنْ لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي. But I ask only just for my heart to be satisfied. Arini, yes please. What kind of verb is this? Is it fi'l al-amr, or is it past or present?
It's fi'l al-amr.
Fi'l al-amr. Arini, show me. Excellent. Show me. How do you give life to the death? Perfect. Then we have هذا خلق الله فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه. And this is the creation of Allah, so show me those other than him. Show me what those other than him have created. Again, a challenge to those who do shirk. Yes, فَأَرُونِي, you all show me. فَأَرُونِي, you all show me. Perfect. Yes. So this is also فعل الأمر. فَأَرُونِي مَاذَا خَلَقَ الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ. All right, then we have another verse of the Quran. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا رَبَّنَا أَرِنَا الَّذَيْنِ. Please pay a very special attention to this. Is this الَّذِينَ? It's not الَّذِينَ. Be very careful. This is الَّذَيْنِ. What is الَّذَيْنِ? الَّذَيْنِ is the dual of الَّذِي. الَّذِي, الَّذَانِ, الَّذَيْنِ. So this is the dual of الَّذِي. So الَّذَيْنِ is the dual of الَّذِي, and this is munsarif, yani this is flexible. الَّذَانِ, الَّذَيْنِ, الَّذَيْنِ. Here it is, it's used for the dual. Here it is mansub. Why it is mansub? Because it is used as maf'ul bihi. Excellent. Arina, show us. Arina, show us. Alladhaini, those two. Adallana, who made us go astray. So we see here ضل يضل ضلالة أو ضالا means to go astray. أضل يضل لا إضلالا أضل يضل إضلالا to make someone go astray. So وقال الذين كفروا, those who will be the disbelievers will say ربنا أرنا, show us الذين those two أضلانا who misguided us من الجن from the jinn والإنس and from the human beings. نجعلهما we will make both of them. Okay, نجعل, why is it mansub? Why is it majzoom? Sorry, نجعل, why is it majzoom? Come on.
That is jawab, ya
جواب
Ustad.
الطلب. Perfect. جواب الطلب. أرنا is طلب. أرنا is طلب. And نجعلهما, huma referring to jinn and ins. We will make both of them تحت أقدامنا, under our feet, ليكونا من الأسفلين, so they will be among the lowest. ليكونا, what kind of li is this? Come on. لام التعليل. It was يكوناني. It was يكوناني, but because of لام التعليل, the noon has been dropped. تحت, as we know, it is used as special مضاف. تحت أقدامنا, under our feet. ليكونا من الأسفلين, so that they will be among the lowest. So as we can see here again, a very beautiful verse of the Quran, where those who will do kufr on the day of judgment, they will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show them those people among jinn and ins who misguided them. So we need to be very careful and make sure that we always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with the company of those who are guided people, because there might be people who are misguided and they can misguide others in the name of Islam, like Ahlul Bid'ah. So we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us or grant us those people who are always guided. We cannot say this is guaranteed that that person is guided, but then we know that there are people who are following Quran and Sunnah, and then there are some people who are not following Quran and Sunnah. Arena, so we can see over here. Next we have the verbal exercise yujra. Yujra is jara yajri, means to run, and yujra is basically passive form. Yujra at-tamrinani ash-shafwiyani al-atiyani. The following two exercises are to be done orally. So tamrinan means two exercises. Shafwiyani from shafun. Shafun means the lips. So that means oral exercises. Adiyani, the following. So these two following exercises are oral exercises. يقول الطالب لزميله, the student says to his colleague, أرني كتابك ساعتك أو قلمك, show me your book or your watch and your pen. فيجيبه قائلا, and he gives him answer by saying, Sa'urikahu, I will show it to you. Sa'urikaha, I will show it to you. So if it is feminine, you will say ha, and if it is masculine, you will say hu. For example, when you talk about kitab, it will be ha, and when you talk about sa, it will be, sorry, kitab will be hu. As we know, kitab is masculine, and sa'ata will be feminine. بعد قليل, after a while. أو لا أريكه لا أريكه أو لا أريكها, I will not show it to you. So I will not show it to you. If it refers to the book, I will not show it to you. And if it refers to the watch, you will say, I will not show it to you. So in either case, we have to make sure that we use these verbal exercises and we practice these verbal exercises. Then we have again يقول المدرس لكل طالب. Then the teacher says to each of the students, أريتني دفترك, did you show me your notebook? فيجيبه قائلا, and he says to him by saying, نعم أريتكه, I showed it to you. So basically what we are supposed to do over here, we have to practice the verb which is ara yuri. We have to practice this verb. In the first part of the exercise, we have to practice the present tense, and in the second part of the exercise, we have to practice the past tense. Now what you are supposed to do, if you refer back to the previous lesson, one of the previous lessons, please go back to that and try to memorize the conjugation of ara yuri memorize the conjugation of the past tense and memorize the conjugation of the present tense. Once you memorize the conjugation, it will be very easy for you to practice. That's, for example, ara, araya, arau, arat, arata, araina, araita, araituma, araitum, araiti, araituma, araitunna, araitu, araina. So that is the past tense conjugation. And similarly, yuri, yuriani, yuruna. And similarly, the whole conjugation you can memorize, and you have done that, inshallah, in the one of the previous lessons. جولت في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. I have traveled extensively in the world. أي جلت فيها كثيرا معناها I have traveled a lot. ينقل الفعل إلى باب أو إلى باب فعل لمعان. So the verb فعل or the bab فعل is transferred into several meanings لمعان منها, and some of the meanings are التكثير, which is something that is intensive or intensity, والمبالغة, and it is exaggeration or extensive. So something that you did intensively or something that you did extensively. تكثير and مبالغة. جول, he roamed around, يعني he traveled extensively. أي جال كثيرا, يعني he moved a lot. جال يجول, and this is used to move around somewhere. طوف, أي طاف كثيرا, يعني he did many. طواف, طاف يطوف, to do طواف, and طواف means to do lots of طواف. So this is also تكثير. So takthir means to do something extensively, to do something a lot or in abundance. قتل, to massacre. أي بالغ في القتل, يعني he exaggerated in killing, يعني extensively. So this is basically بالغ. So it shows something that has been done in a matter which is like قتل means to massacre. Similarly, كسر, to break something into pieces, to chop. أي بالغ في الكسر, يعني he smashed something. Then we have قطع, that means to cut. In this case it will be to chop into pieces. أي بالغ في القطع, يعني he exaggerated in cutting. عدد, أي عد كثيرا, يعني he counted a lot, something counted again and again. So we have two meanings. One meaning is something that is done extensively, and one meaning is to do something with intensity. Now here it will be easier for you to understand like which one is takthir and which one is mubalagha. So kassartul aqlama, so kathara yukathiru takthiran from number 2. That means to do something in abundance. And kassartul aqlama, this is from number 3. Inshallah, balagha yubalighu mubalaghatan from number 3. We will discuss in the next lesson. So mubalagha means to exaggerate. So what happened over here? Here we have aqlam, we have plural, and here we have qalam, we have singular. So the meaning is, if we have something or maf'ul bihi, if maf'ul bihi is plural, then it means it is takthir. What is it? Takthir. And if maf'ul bihi is singular, that means it is mubalagha. Did you get the idea? So if the object is singular, that means it is mubalagha. And if the object is plural, that means it is takthir. Yani takthir means, as I told you, that it tells about something that is extensive, and mubalagha means intensity, something which is done in exaggeration or intensity. Alright, so inshallah now you will be able to figure out if it is takthir or mubalagha. So please remember the meaning of takthir. Takthir means extensive, and mubalagha means intensive, yani exaggeration, intensive. إن الذين كذبوا بآياتنا كذبوا. Yes, بآياتنا. So they did takdhib of the verses of the Quran. So is this something that they did mubalagha or takthir? Ayatina is the plural. Ayatina is plural, yeah? So this is takthir. Excellent. How did you figure out? Excellent, because maf'ul bihi, ayat, maf'ul bihi is plural. So if maf'ul bihi is plural, that means this is takthir. That means this is takthir. Okay, wastakbaru anha la tufattahu lahum abwabus sama. and the doors of the heavens will not be opened for them. All right, is this takthir or mubalagha?
تكثير أستاذ.
Takthir, why?
باب أبواب
Abwab,
doors.
excellent. Here, please remember, here abwab is not maful bihi. Here abwab is what? Naibul fa'il. Why it is naibul fa'il? Because tufattahu is passive form. Fattaha yufattihu, yufattihu, and then we have tufattihu. If it is tufattihu, if we have kasra, that means this is the regular form. But when we have fatha over there, and before the second last root letter, that means this is the passive form. So this is naibul fa'il. Please remember this, naibul fa'il. La tufattahu, so this is also takthir. Why? Because abwab is the plural. As-samai wa la yadkhuluna al-jannata, and they will not enter Jannah. Hatta yalij al-jamalu, until the camel enters. Fi sammil khiyati, in the eye of the needle. Subhanallah. So look at this, is the beauty of the Arabic language. This is what we call balagha. Yeah. So balagha of the language, that those people who are arrogant and they deny the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the gates of the heavens will not be opened for them. Will not be opened for them. We can see that this is a passive form. Nor will they enter paradise until a camel enters into the eye of a needle, i.e. never. So they will never enter Jannah. Okay, yalija is mansoob over here. Why?
Hatta is there, Ustad.
Excellent,
That's why.
because of hatta. Because hatta is basically it has an into this. Excellent. So mashallah tabarakallah, now I'm so happy that almost 85% of the verses of the Quran you are able to understand, and that's really, really something amazing. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us understand more and more. الذي جمع مالا وعدده. Yes, who collects wealth and continuously counts it. عدده.
تكثير أستاذ.
Yes, takdir, because he counts what? Continuously, yeah? Again and again. Yeah, okay. سنقتل أبناءهم. We will kill their sons. أبناء,
Takthir.
plural, yeah? Takdir. Perfect. Takdir. Excellent. So then we have وغلقت الأبواب وقالت هيت لك. She closed the doors. Abwab is the plural of bab, so this is also takthir. Okay, excellent. فَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَحَادِيثًا. We will make them, or we will turn them into stories. وَمَزَّقْنَاهُمْ كُلَّ مُمَزَّقٍ. Well, this is a beautiful expression again now. مَزَّقَ يُمَزَّقُ. تَمْزِيقًا is to tear apart. So we will chop them into pieces. Yes. Now,
This is takthir.
takdir, or it can be intensity as well, mubalagha. Why? Because after that, basically we have this is what we call that maful mutlaq. Maful mutlaq. How do we know that mumazzaqun is maful bihi, and also it is used as dharf, but here it is used as maful bihi, right? So mumazzaqun is maful bihi, but it is majroor. Why it is majroor? Because of kulla. And if you remember, I told you today that kulla is used for emphasis. So the whole construction here, it means it is used because mumazzaqin is used as maful mutlaq, and you know that the meaning of maful mutlaq means that we do something as it is supposed to be done, right? So it can be translated into two ways. Number one, therefore we turned them into stories and tore them into pieces. This is the regular translation, the running translation. But this translation is not done keeping in mind maful mutlaq. If you want to translate it as maful mutlaq, then it will be, so we made them narrations and dispersed them into total dispersion. So disperse them into total dispersion has the same meaning as وَمَزَّقْنَاهُمْ كُلَّ مُمَزَّقٍ, yani we tore them into pieces. If you say ضَرَبْتُهُ ضَرْبًا, so you can translate it into two meanings. Number one, I hit him hitting. I hit him hitting. And the second meaning will be I hit him as he deserved to be hit. So in either case, the meaning will be the same. So that's why we say maf'ul mutlaq is also used for emphasis. وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا كَلَّا إِذَا دُكَّتِ الْأَرْضُ دَكًّا دَكًّا وَجَاءَ رَبُّكَ وَالْمَلَكُ صَفًّا صَفًّا دَكًّا دَكًّا صَفًّا صَفًّا وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. So this maf'ul mutlaq is used a lot in the Quran. So this is also used for takthir, or we can either say it is also used for intensity, for mubalagha, because here it gives the meaning of tearing something apart. وَإِذْ نَجَّيْنَاكُمْ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ إِذْ. Please remember that whenever we have وَإِذْ, it means and recall and remember and recall and remember. So it is used with the past tense always. It's a dharf and it gives the meaning of and remember. وَإِذْ نَجَّيْنَاكُمْ, and we saved you مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ, from the people of Fir'aun. يَسُومُونَكُمْ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ. يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ. This one is easy to figure out. Why? This is what?
plural.
Takthir, yeah? It's plural.
Yeah,
أبناءكم is plural, so this is takthir. We can figure out, it's easy to figure out. But what about نَجَّيْنَاكُمْ?
Jaina.
Were they saved at once, or were they saved like in like
Once
at
or
once? Yeah,
yes,
ونجيناكم.
once.
So it's more like mubalagha, it's more like intensity. So here it gives the meaning of intensity, because in the Quran both of the verbs have been used. Najjaina has been used and anjaina has also been used. And in one of the verses of the Quran, I think both of them have been used simultaneously. So, inshallah, when we move to the end of the lesson, you will see, and inshallah, I will give you so many examples from the Quran where both of the forms have been used in the similar meaning. So, sometimes it's used in the similar meaning. So, here Najjainakum is used for basically intensity. So, here it is used for intensity, and here it is used for takthir. It is used for takthir. Why do we say it is used for takthir? Because we can figure out from the plural form. So whenever we have the plural form, that means it is this is takthir. But whenever we don't have the plural form after that, so that means we can figure out that this is used for intensity. In either case, we know that this form of is used for intensity. It is used for something that is done again and again. So I hope, inshallah, we were able to understand some new ideas as well. And inshallah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us continue learning more and more about the Quran and to act upon it as well. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
عليكم السلام. الله
Wa iyaakum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu feekum.